Ready? Okay, we're on.
I salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We still muted. We should be on, we're unmuted.
Okay, public comment, still no one online,
There's nobody online.
okay, public, can I get a motion to accept the approval of the agenda?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, ayes have it. Did anyone go through the minutes and see anything that need to be updated?
I went through them like a couple months ago when they was. I didn't see anything that I didn't remember from last year. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, moving on to number 5, the 26-27 budget. So. Jim's here now. So in front of you, you have a copy of the budget calendar that the district uses for, well, will be using for this coming year.
We have any changes that were on it that are different than last year?
Because this meeting is.
We added in November, I knew this one was not done last year, but other than that, we're running the same schedule. We will have another financial meeting in March, which is fine.
Middlefield, or Durham had a chance to look at the dates. And come up with anything.
This was sent to the town with the town allocations.
Jim, do you have any questions about the budget calendar?
Well, he's looking at that. I know one of the things we were saying last year is we really just want to make sure that as a board and as a finance committee, we were making sure that the towns had ample opportunity to tell us what was going on in both towns ahead of time, so that we weren't getting, either contentious or commentary very close to either a vote on the budget. So I know that was something we wanted to talk about. So I don't know what you guys have or ideas. I'll try to get some more engagement on that. Won't be here, but I'm gonna bring it up.
We're also trying to get a meeting with the 2 boards of selectmen so that we can raise these issues as well, so.
The earlier we have the information or comments or input, the better.
Yeah, no, I think the joint meeting might be even more beneficial than the first finance committee meeting.
Yeah.
It might give you a good jump start to what is going on and work through that. Because I know it's just as hard as Jim will say, when they get into budget, they find out what they're facing. And, we're into budget, we're figuring out what we're facing, and everyone's scrambling as to whose responsibility it is to fill those gaps.
Tim, how did our change in that Lindsay worked on to change the impact of the town to the 5-year rolling average? Did you see a benefit of that last year?
A benefit last year.
No.
On that rolling average, I think this is the first year.
This is the first year. We really didn't have it last year. Our meeting is tomorrow. Our Board of Finance meeting is tomorrow at 7.
So you can better anticipate your share.
Yeah. It'll help.
Yeah,
We'll see. I mean,
The town's Durham, I know, has a lot of capital improvements that they're working towards, so I know there's a lot of.
yeah, again, we're debating the bond, but
Can you tell us what some of the capital improvements are? Can you tell us what some of those capital improvements are?
culverts, Wire Road, Bear Rock, Shady Lane, which we're on the hook for because if there's an accident, we're liable because of the line of sight. They're all culverts. There's one coming up maybe on Harmony Hill. I went over there road is sagging a little bit, so I guess that may be a future culvert. The culverts are very, and Squire, right here, we've been trying to do the Squire Road one so they're expensive. Millions of dollars.
Are there any grants you can get for that? Any grants?
We got $1 million grant for Shady Lane.
Oh.
So, and what we budgeted, we're good to go with Shady Lane. It should there, and so that's good.
It's actually houses on Shady Lane now.
There's one house on
house.
Shady Lane,
Oh,
yeah, but there may be more coming or something.
It's a subdivision, right? There technically could be more there.
Could be more there, yeah.
road's not paved or anything, is it?
No, but hopefully that's gonna be done. I was hoping it'd be done before winter. I mean, that's 2 years overdue that we've been on the hook. That reliable, if there's an accident. At the junction of Shady Lane and 17, the line of sight is poor.
Yeah, I know.
And DOT put us on notice that we're liable if there's an accident there. And it's been 2 years now that we've been on the hook for that. So we're very anxious to get that done. Yeah, so when we got the grant, we're good to go now. So I was hoping to be done before the ground freezes. We'll see.
Do you know if there's any plan to extend the sidewalk by Allen Grove Park?
There, yeah, Brendan and I spoke about that a little bit. He's gonna try to continue that grant. It's just not a definite yet. But I think everybody's interested in having that sidewalk continue.
Yeah, it looks great up by the Strand.
It
I'm
does.
surprised how they did a good job putting that one in.
It makes a nice difference too.
Yeah, yeah.
Walking on it, it's hard to picture it not being there because
I know.
it was so unsafe. you
Yeah,
know, And it just, it's a million times better. I mean,
Of course, we got a changing of the guard too. This is Chuck's last meeting and Bob Wynn's last meeting tomorrow. So, we have 2 new members.
Who are the new members?
Phil Musio, a lot of people seem to know him, and then some, I call him
oh, Will Castro,
Castro. I
yeah.
don't know him. I
his
don't know.
wife Mallory is on rec committee with me. They're newer to town, but
They're new in town.
they're very nice people.
Yeah, I don't know, him. About 30 years old or something. I call him my kid, but. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he got voted in too, so we got 2 new members. And the swearing in ceremony, I just got an email this, a week from Thursday. The 20, what today's the 11th, 12th, no, 12th, 13th, the 20th, yeah. At the town hall, the swearing in ceremony. For all the new members, because the 1st is when legal members, start.
So
So
might
it's-
need a meeting or two before your board comes together and figures out what the big issues are and.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting without Bob and Chuck, and we got 2 new people, we'll see. It's gonna be very interesting how things get approached now.
The town looking at is there any improvements like firehouse wise? I remember they were looking at the complex. It's kind of on the back burner. Nothing, no improvements at the firehouse or any big.
No, we okayed,
Demolition.
we okayed everything except the painting last year, but we got criticism for that. But we okayed everything else except to have it painted, so we'll probably get it painted this year.
So I know looking on the other side, I know Middlefield's building the firehouse, so they've got a bond for that and a lot of investment there, so.
And to my knowledge, they're not asking for anything else this year other than paint, which shouldn't be much money. No, that we'll see, every year there's surprises. And then, of course, the reevaluation took place, which is gonna be effective October 1st. So we have to, probably make adjustments in the mill rate for that, but that's almost complete. And it's effective October 1st, the new reevaluation on all the properties. I'll see that, will they see that?
Something interesting that, I think will come down the pike too. Cave and the state are working on a coalition for rural school, rural districts to really talk about how much we're impacted by the funding that we get, and the little reimbursement we get on certain things, whether it's school construction in general. And I think it's gonna really shine a light on how we just can't get a lot of things done. And I'm hoping that moves forward, because to see towns like ours who don't have the commercial tax base, you know, aren't anywhere near close to having that commercial tax base, even if we wanted to, and it's sitting on our town, and the state says, well, you can afford it. Well, you have people in town that are under that umbrella that can afford it, but they're living paycheck to paycheck. So how do we balance that and have a community that thinks we're doing right by the district and the towns if we're not getting the funding that we really need?
And supposedly 30% of the people live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's not counting the ones that are below that need the SNAP and everything on the food pantry. I mean, you know, Morgan is now at the community center. And she's busy. We expanded her hours because more people are coming in and needing help.
Morgan Social Services for Durham.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I know they'll keep Bob up to date on when that's meeting, but we should send a representative to every one of those meetings that the rural districts are meeting. You know, it's been an oversight for a long time. And if you look at all the rural districts, we're all saying the same things. We have old buildings. Our budgets are, you know, cut down to next to nothing to make sure that we have what we need. But we're not making progress. And if,
It kind of changed the grant formula or just adjust it.
yeah, well, we've been pushing really hard. I just don't know how much the state right now in, you know, the chaos is going to look at that.
Yeah,
It's on the resolutions for the delegate assembly as
I saw
as a key priority. And I know that we'll keep pushing that and working towards it. Because if we're not funding that, we're not doing right by anybody.
Did we get Reed, Kim? Anything funny?
No.
Yeah.
The drip fund will help a lot, when they get that fully going and funded, because we can start doing and applying for projects that aren't major projects, but improvements that we need to do, but it's just, again, putting a Band-Aid on rural districts. You know, we saw Essex, you know, Region 4 with the mold issues in their schools and what Lon had to fight for in order to get that building done and remediated. It just shouldn't happen that way. I know it's not gonna be an easy year, won't be an easy budget year, but we have to be a really strong advocate for what we have and understand that there's other districts that are like us that want to work together. And the more we can do that, the bigger the voice, because we're not Hartford, we're not New Haven, we're not Stanford, Greenwich. But we all matter and we all have to teach kids.
Bob, I was weighing on what you said when we were talking about a bond. And I said, you know, my line in the sand was 2 million. And you said 10 million.
well, it
What's the
seems to me
I mean,
that if you're gonna bond, you know, do something with it, don't just poke away at little things. You know, put a significant amount of money in it and fix everything. Or everything you need, you know, don't keep going back for a loan after a loan or a bond after a bond. No, I think the last one we did was what, 9 million,
6.9.
6.9. We had a whole tons of things that had to be fixed.
But you spent all the 6.9.
Yeah,
Okay,
now we're paying it back now, but
yeah, but if we only need 2.5 million,
that's because
What's
you
the
haven't looked
advantage of
for,
getting-
that's,
10.
But that's what he's saying. Look at the projects that need to be done 5 years down the road. Why not do them now?
Oh,
This way you're only paying the bonding fees one time.
yeah.
Hmm.
And, you
Or
know,
put the money
in our
aside.
people,
Sometimes those projects aren't ready yet, though. I mean, it's
you have
difficult.
about 2 years to get them ready, once you,
You have to
Yeah.
use it, you know, most of it within 2 years.
yeah. But. You know, the argument is that, you know. The future people are paying for it, yeah, they're the ones using it. You know,
And you could also throw in the tennis courts.
Yeah.
Community uses the tennis courts. That would be a great addition to your bond. Nice combined project.
Yeah,
I mean, there is a possibility of doing something together with us. I mean, we have a credit rating and,
yeah, the dividing line between the town and the school is between the tennis courts and the pickleball courts. That's
yeah,
the.
well, the tennis courts need repairs. Our
Is
tennis
yours,
courts
and the
need
pickleball
repair.
courts are the towns, from what I understand.
Yeah, but everybody uses them, you know, we know
Oh,
we
yeah.
all use them.
Yeah. But that's like the property line somewhat is in between the two courts.
Somewhere. in
Yeah,
there.
she's not saying there's responsibility on the part of the town. She's saying a partnership could be
Right, a
worked out.
collaborative
between-
project for things like that would be great in terms of just like looking at those multiple long-term projects to get the most bang for your buck.
But I see the reason that the bonds have been low in the towns, because they're concerned they're not gonna pass. So if they're going for a really large bond, they're saying town isn't likely to pass a large bond. We need to pass this, because this is what we're doing right now. But then you put yourself back 2 or 3 years on your capital projects, you know, on roofs or town hall roof, the community center, the needs that are there, you know, they're 5-year out needs. It would be, if advocated properly, a sizable bond in order to make those, at least on a timeline happen,
Yeah.
would be,
We've been doing so much at the community center. Now we're gonna put in new lighting.
the LED lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put in new lighting now. That's the next thing. We've done so much. Well, we had to, but it's a new. I think we're almost done with
It
the
looks
big
great.
projects. I think at the community center. Hopefully.
Well, you can see how much it's been needed because.
Oh my God, it's just-
There's always got people there.
Well, you know, you think back and you say, how did we do without it? You know, it's just, it's still growing, it's still getting more active all the time. It's just amazing. It's a real community center. It's, everybody's using it, birthday parties. Durham Middlefield Youth, they're holding a monthly dinner there now. I understand in conjunction with,
During Middlefield Youth.
Family Services.
Family Services hold a monthly dinner there now.
Mhm.
On top of it, it's an evening, I think 6 o'clock, but they hold, it's monthly.
Our
It's either
students-
Tom or Yum, I forget which one it is, Yum, they call it, but it's a big hit, it's a really.
Oh, yeah.
nice event.
Yeah.
Our students from MTA have been down there working,
Mhm.
and they really have such a blast, and Carolyn's great with them, and it's,
It's a good staff too. It's a very good staff there too.
there's a lot to say for, you know, that building or likely could have been bulldozed for $1 million. And, you know, it's
Yeah.
back where it is, and it's pretty exciting.
Too late now. It's here to stay.
Yeah,
The other thing I'm gonna, that I've asked, Bobby Martino is about this use or sale or disposal or repurpose of Lyman School. I need to do the same with Brendan. So I think as part of the Board of Finance, you may want to look at what do you think are options that the town would be interested in for the use of Brewster School in the future? If we were to sell, we know there's legal issues and all that stuff, but, it's, I doubt that there's a town interest in it. But perhaps there is, but it's something that we need to start talking about, because it'll, it took 4 years to do.
Could there be
Corn school.
a state interest in it?
There could be, I think there's ACES interest, there's other maybe nonprofit interest in it.
yeah, I think you'd likely see a lot of interest from some of the magnet schools, some of the smaller sped programs, and how those are increasing, and that. I think it's just important that every single group have a chance to really look over it and say, this is what it could be used for and couldn't, because you really need to have the buy-in for what it needs to be used for. Especially with whatever legal or, issues are there. But I think looking at it, it's, people say all the time, oh my God, we're 2 years, we're gonna open up a school and we're gonna sell 2 schools. Like we, as a board, take a look one at a time and go slowly. Make sure that Lyman, whatever is gonna happen with Lyman, have that be your first priority, and then move in towards Brewster once everyone's had a chance to really weigh in on that. So what we can do.
But I think this is something that the town needs to start thinking about as well.
Yeah. good to mention.
In terms of our budget. You know, obviously there's salary is the driving force, but there's also, who knows what's happening with healthcare. This year, we've been pretty steady. Looks like. I can't, nobody can predict what's gonna happen with inflation, but, guess it kind of depends on what the tariffs do or don't do.
The Supreme Court can decide that one.
Yeah, the Supreme Court's making some decisions on it, but. You know, it's gonna be a really hard year to predict what's gonna happen in terms of the cost of things. I mean, we're looking, you know, for Memorial School, we have to buy the power equipment, the generators and the boilers now to get it in within the 2-year time period. So those costs, you know, parts of those things are coming from Europe or China or Asia or somewhere. Those are gonna take, you know, those costs are gonna fluctuate really badly until. So we need to get some purchases done pretty early. In order to make sure that, you know, we're stable. So,
And even looking at a few districts that are looking at, you know, closing and reconfiguring the building, they're backing off projects. They're not, everything's too much up in the air. So I think HK even took a step back in their whole reconfiguration. They have a new superintendent that's coming in.
we were looking at $100 million or something like that.
Yeah, it was more than just the high school. I think it was the middle school too.
Yeah.
And I know Portland's is basically in the same situation we are. We were before the passing, you know, they've got a lot of capital improvements that need to get ironed out. They don't really have a community consensus on it, so they backed off a little bit. So it's hard to see with how much is up in the air.
I just read, some economists is predicting the end of 26 inflation will be 3%. Is what he's predicting, when you mentioned inflation, and that's what they're predicting, the end of 26 is 3%.
That'll be good.
You're lucky.
So the next finance meeting would be after the joint board meeting with Board of Selectmen.
So we'll have a draft budget.
Yeah, Matt.
I think the hope would be to come out of that Board of Selectmen joint meeting with some real action items for the finance committee to go through
Yeah.
at that next meeting. And hopefully get more back from Middlefield.
Even set a time for that, yeah.
That's on the agenda for tonight.
Yeah,
That will pick maybe 3 dates and then
yeah, I would think
send them to.
mid-December sometime.
And just keeping in mind too, Middlefield's usually one to not always support the budget, so you want to know as much as you can from Middlefield what they're facing this year.
Anything else? Anything else we need to know from town? Any secret information from Middlefield?
It's okay, I speak for all the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Durham and Middlefield. They're all taxpayers. It's okay.
Okay, so if we don't have anything else, we'll move to public comment, which there's none present there.
No one online.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
All opposed? Nice have it.
thanks for coming, Jim.
Oh, my pleasure.